Good morning, Northwest.
I'm Kendall.
And I'm Chloe.
And we'd like to welcome you to Titan Connect. Please stand for the pledge. Put your right hand over your heart and your left hand down by your side and say it with us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for dress code check.
You may be seated.
And now for today's sports announcements.
Softball has a game at home today against Harris Road.
Football also has a game at home against Roberta Road on Wednesday.
And now for today's announcements. 7th grade basketball cheer tryouts are coming soon. Tryouts will be October 16th, 18th, and 19th in the multi-purpose room from 4:15 to 5:30.
Sign up on Dragonfly and get your wristband from Miss Lenz and Mr. Hilton starting this Friday.
Student council applications are due to Miss Cow by the end of the school day today. Thank you to everyone who applied.
Acceptance letters will be handed out next week along with a pass to attend the first meeting on Thursday, October 12th. And now for this week's Positivity Project.
The character strength of integrity means that you are honest and speak the truth. You present yourself genuinely and sincerely.
Integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. People with integrity practice what they preach and have the courage not to follow the crowd. A person with integrity is honest and does not pretend to be something they are not.
Remember, a person can show integrity every single day. As you go through your day, be sure to look for opportunities where you can demonstrate the character strength of integrity.
And now for Mr. Trump.
Just real quick, Wednesday robotics groups, I sent a message out to your parents. We are not meeting tomorrow. There are no robotics for tomorrow's teams. Okay, and now for the lunch and breakfast, both.
Good morning, Northwest.
Today's lunch is walking taco, enchiladas, and nacho bites.
And tomorrow's breakfast is sausage, biscuit, and blueberry bread.
And now for
Mazebo. Yippee!
Good morning, Titan family, and happy Tuesday. It's not a Monday, it's a Tuesday. So I've got a couple announcements before I turn it over to Talk About It Tuesday with Miss Gibson and Miss McAdare. One, today is the new start for second quarter. That's right, first quarter is now done. So what does that mean? That means you've got a fresh, clean slate when it comes to academics and when it comes to behavior. So on the academic side, as of second quarter, you start the quarter with 100%. Your grades do not carry over from one quarter to the next. So if you did not perform as good as you wanted to perform for first quarter, that's okay. We learn from our mistakes. We get it together. Second quarter, you can do better because now you got a clean slate, fresh start. Same thing goes for behaviors because the minors have now reset. So that way, if you had exhausted the 3 or 5 minors that you might have had first quarter, you've now got a clean slate. So use this opportunity to learn from our mistakes, and that way we can have a great second quarter of the school year. Just to let you know, those of you who did not receive any major referrals will be attending the first quarter incentive on Friday. So that's coming up this week. With the start of the quarter, we are going to also be reviewing expectations, processes, procedures. So the 8th graders will be meeting with me this morning for the core team meetings. And then tomorrow, 6th graders will be meeting with Mr. Egnott and 7th graders will be meeting with Ms. Richardson. Those meetings will be held in the multi-purpose room. And then last but not least, just a reminder for our 8th graders tomorrow, you're going on the Futures Fair field trip to the Cabarrus Arena. Please make sure that you wear comfortable shoes. That is going to be very, very important that you're wearing comfortable shoes because you will be on your feet walking around a lot during that event. All right, I'm so glad that you guys are back on campus ready to go for today. Now we will turn it over to Miss McAdare and Miss Gibson for Talk About It Tuesday.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, before we start, I have a quick announcement. If you are in group with me and Miss Collins, and you have turned in your permission slip, you should be on your way to Trailer 4 at this time. Group starts at 9:05, just for future reference. If you haven't turned in your permission forms, but you still would like to participate, you can. Just try to get those into me as soon as possible.
Also, I have an announcement about for my 8th graders. After our Futures Fair field trip, your homeroom teachers are going to have these little raffle tickets that each of you are going to get, where you're going to fill out your name, school, homeroom teacher, and your high school / program interest. And then on October 16th, which is the evening Futures Fair where you attend with families, you can turn them in and win a prize. So this will be coming out after Wednesday, so probably Thursday or Friday. Make sure that you fill it out, and then you take it with you on October 16th. So.
All right, and today we're going to talk about boundaries. So if you don't know what boundaries are, those are just kind of like rules that you have for people and yourself in your head. So it can be like, my boundary is that I don't like random people touching me. That's a pretty universal boundary, right? And you might have different boundaries for different people. So like me and Miss Gibson have a very close friendship. So I have a different boundary for her than I might have for someone that I don't know or that I'm not as close with.
Yeah, and there's different types of boundaries. There's physical boundaries, there's emotional boundaries, and it's really important that you are able to verbalize those boundaries. And a step of that is identifying them for yourself, because like Ms. McAdare said, they might look different for different relationships and different friendships. So identifying that for yourself and then being able to share that out in a nice way instead of a not nice way.
Yeah, it's very important to let people know those boundaries, because we might just assume that people know these things, but other people might have different past experiences that makes their boundaries a little bit different. So it's really important to make sure you communicate what you're comfortable with and what you're not comfortable with, because then it's a clear standard, right? So people can't say, well, I didn't know that, because you've made them aware of what it is. And if they keep going against that boundary or keep pushing that boundary, then it's a reevaluation of that friendship or relationship, and you can say, well, you were aware of this and yet you keep going against it.
Yeah, and it's also good to frame it when you are setting those boundaries in a form of like an I statement of being like, I really prefer this over this, instead of making it more of an attack on the person, because it's not always like that, because it's a personal opinion when you're setting those boundaries for yourself.
Yeah, so just make sure that you make people aware of them in a nice, respectful way. And if people can't honor those boundaries, that you address it with them, and that you look at that relationship and see, if there's that respect level that needs to be there. All right, and to close us out, I'll do the quote. In order to love who you are, you cannot hate the experiences that have shaped you.
And remember to always be respectful, be responsible, and be safe.